What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to actually run the triple red for Bradshaw properly and why it only takes me a minute and a half for each fight. So for Bradshaw, he has multiple builds. He has three very strong builds. The two builds, the double red or double yellow into the finisher, very good, situational, but good. I don't like running it for feuds. It's too slow. The submission build for Bradshaw, again, very good, too slow for feud, in my opinion. So I primarily go to the triple red. The reason why the triple red is so good is because one, all three moves are 7 MP. Two, the scoop power slam does 1.3 million damage just off the rip alone. So having a 7 MP move that does 1.3 million damage is pretty insane. Our JBL bomb is increasing our multiply gems when we face a trickster. So our follow away slam gives out the multiply gems of strength 7. Then we're going to increase it by 3 when we're facing a trickster. So we're ultimately getting multiply gems of 10, which is fantastic. So what I like to do here with my coaches is I primarily stick to Finn, who gives 100% more red move damage. But you can also do Powerhouse Batista, who gives 50% more. I realize that's half, but still, it works if it's based off your roster and you don't have Finn. Trick Snoop is in there for additional 25%. I personally prefer to run Chelsea instead of Snoop, but I threw him on here because a lot of people have him and they don't have Chelsea. Zombie Edge was given basically for free last zombie event, so I'm sure a vast majority of people have him. He is critical to this. The 12k more damage does help. Now, if you don't have Snoop, but you have Memrock, Memrock works perfectly fine, giving +1 to the multiplies and giving an additional multiply gem. That is actually really, really good. To be honest, I am most likely going to switch over to that being my primary. Oh, no, it's not until I get an affiliation. Primaries for feuds, it's all based off your roster. Mine right now, Memrock sits on Cody. So Cody or Devon, one or the other, until I get an affiliation belt. But Memrock can go there. Zombie Liv can go on here. She does just fine. I would say Dawkins because he gets 10%, but Dawkins isn't okay. Zombie Cena would be a good one too, giving an additional cross break. There's multiple different fillers you can put in here, but ideally, you want it kind of ending up looking like. Ideally, you'd want it to be this setup. Ideally. But if you can't, like I said, there's options. Okay. So for our belt, this portion is critical. Fury 2, one across the board is your ideal setup. A 200% red move damage medal is the ideal medal. You can use a T4 medal, giving 133%. It's a good placeholder, but eventually you do want to get to a T5. They do have T5s that are Fury that do go up to 200% because that's what T5s end at. So if you have regular Fury, that's a T5. Use that as well. You know, one or the other. Ideally, you want Fury too, but I realize a lot of people don't have those. Same thing with the all gem damage. You want as high of a percentage as humanly possible. You do not want solid numbers in either one of these. You want straight percentage. You can have solid numbers in all gem defense and all move defense, or you can go with percentage. Percentage is ideal. It does help to an extent, but that's give or take. That's up to you. Okay. For your plates, you can go one of two routes with the plate. One, you can go the route I will be going with, which is the Queen's Tiara and a defensive stance. So Queen's Tiara, whenever you make 6 or more multiply gems, increase your black gem damage by 50%. That is an ideal for being the aggressor, which is what I like to be. You can go with Queen's Tiara and the defensive stance. It gives you that extra turn, so to speak, when it comes to pinning them, but a majority of the time you don't have to worry about it. The health is so low that they can't kick out anyways. You could also go with the generator standpoint. Instead of the Viper Strike, which is what I have on him right now, you can go with the DX Assault Army. That's a good one. It gives out black gems. And then for the ultimate plate, you can go with the black gem generators, such as Kevin Owens' show and I Pity the Fool. Those two are good ones. I believe there's a yellow one, and I don't know if there's a blue one yet. But either way, a generator for black gems on the ultimate plate, a generator for black gems on the regular plate, and you have a generator that works relatively well. So we're going to hop in here against Trick Sammy, and I'm going to show you guys two different ways to run this. The first one is the primary way of running it, which is black gems aren't nerfed, red moves aren't nerfed, everything's going honky donkey. This is the way you want to run it. So you're going to hit the Scoop Power Slam. We're hitting him for 5.5 million damage right now. We're going to go 4 up, 2 over. And primarily you want to look at the board before you do any of this. I tend to stick to the left or the right, depending on where the majority of the red gems are going to go. So we have one. We're going to miss out on none of them. Cool. So what you want to do is take the multiply move now and put it on one of the gems, or one of the red gems that's following your line for cross break. I'll put that one up there. And then you're going to fill in the center like a cannoli, because I'm a fat kid and I like cannolis. So you have your center filled here with the multiply, you have your cross breaks right, or your X breaks right here, and you have your one over here, so that way you fully recharge. He's going to shoot him up to 10 now, and then we hit this area and watch it go kaboom. Mazel tov. Now the damage will, it varies with each person, it varies with each build, it varies with each belt, metal setup, perks, coaches, everything in between. But generally, you're looking anywhere between 14 to 17, maybe 18 million damage against a trickster. So that's enough to one-shot everybody. So your days of being worried about Solo Sokoa, Umaga, Kali, Gunther, any of the tricksters right now that give everyone a headache, that's your answer right there, is a one-shot pony. So we'll go back in again, and I'll show you what it looks like when you run it when the black gems are nerfed. Because you can still run Bradshaw when they're nerfed. I just go and take him from being my 6-star silver sweeper at that time to a 6-star bronze sweeper. And for a majority of people who sit at 150k somewhat roster, your run or lineup for Feud, you are basically looking at more 6-star bronzes than you are 6-star silvers. So it shouldn't be just fine. But this is how we're going to run it this way. We have our reds across here, so we're going to try and primarily focus getting to the reds. So that's going to go there. That's going to go there. That's going to miss. That'll go there. That'll go there. 5 up. Let's go 2 over. So that covers up the majority of the board. And then we're going to hit our multiplies. Our multiplies are no longer going to go in the center now. They're actually going to be going over here, and we're going to be following our lines. So when you follow your lines, you want to stick to everything that's not a black gem, and just kind of let the chips fall where they may there. It's still going to increase. We're still going to be doing 6 million damage. The difference is the amount of damage that's going to come from that board explosion. Right now, it's going to be a good amount. It's 6.7. Normally, it lands, depending on the board, it can land anywhere between 5 million and 7 million. It just really depends on the board and the setup for that. So that is going to be the triple red build for Bradshaw. I had multiple people tell me that they're having problems with it, so I kind of hope this helps you guys figure out how to run him better and faster. 99% of the time, my feud fights with Bradshaw last a minute and a half, and that is including the entrance, me clicking, and the 1, 2, 3 tap. So I hope this video helps everybody out in regards to this build. And if you liked it, like, share, and subscribe. And I'm going to leave you the same way I always leave you. Life can be fun if you allow it to be. We'll see you in the next one.